Do weight loss pills work? Let's find out. Welcome to 9 Minutes to Better Health, a podcast series that breaks down real science for you to use in your daily life. G'day, I'm Dr. Nick Fuller. I'm an obesity expert from the University of Sydney and RPA Hospital. In my 15 years in the field, I've seen, heard and helped people from every demographic. And I've seen, heard and observed every fad diet and weight loss diet that exists. And here's the thing. They all work short term, but then the weight comes back. The truth about obesity is it's a multifaceted problem. And on 9 Minutes to Better Health, I'm going to arm you with the science that you can use every day to answer important questions. Each podcast, I tackle the latest research on interesting health and wellness subjects. I chat about topics like, is skipping breakfast good for weight loss? Are eggs bad for your cholesterol? And how to tell if your poo's healthy, which is an important topic we tackled last week. So make sure to go back and listen and learn about the 3 simple things you can be doing to improve your gut health. But back to today's podcast. Are there any good supplements for weight loss? Firstly, let's take a look at the stats. We all know the problem when it comes to obesity. The number of people struggling with their weight has doubled since 1980. If we look at Australia, for example, approximately 2 in 3 people are now considered overweight. Consequently, in a desperate attempt to shift the kilos, many of you will have turned to weight loss supplements or pills. 1 in 7 of you will have tried one of these dietary pills, which is an industry now worth about $33 billion. But what are they? These are products that you can buy off the shelf in a pharmacy, supermarket, and even some convenience stores. The pills include entire plants or products in which a plant is an active ingredient. But they may also contain something extracted from an animal or plant, such as a fat, fibre, or protein. They are something you can buy without a script from your doctor, also known as over-the-counter pills. And as mentioned, these pills and supplements are easily accessed from pharmacies and supermarkets. The issue: despite the plethora of supplements available, pills, powders, liquids, and marketed with the promise that they can help people lose weight, few have scientific support for their safety and efficacy. And the biggest issue is that unlike pharmaceutical drugs, evidence for a dietary supplement's safety and how effective it is not required before it hits the market. The owners of these supplements are only required to hold, but not necessarily produce, evidence substantiating their claims. This is because complementary and alternative medicines are specified as low-risk medicines by lawmakers such as the Therapeutic Goods Administration. Let's look at Australia, for example. Over a recent 10-year period, 1,000 supplements for weight loss were listed on the Australian Registry of Therapeutic Goods Administration, the TGA. But this was without actually knowing their effectiveness. That is, whether the pill actually did what it claimed. But the real issue, however, is that of these 1,000 supplements, only 200 of them, or 20%, are audited each year to ensure they have the evidence to back up their weight loss claims. And when they don't, they're pulled from the market by the TGA so they can no longer be sold to the general public. But do they work? The brief answer: from 121 clinical trials involving nearly 10,000 people, there's no evidence to show any of them actually work. But it's not all doom and gloom, so make sure to stick around to the end as I'll give you some tips for weight loss that work long term. Today's deep dive into the literature comes from 2 large reviews recently presented at the European Congress on Obesity. You'll find these studies in the show notes. The first study involved a review of 54 randomized controlled trials that compare the effects of herbal supplements with those of placebos. Herbal weight loss products include entire plants or products in which a plant is an active ingredient, giving it the term herbal supplement. You may have heard some of these brand names such as Garcinia, green tea, African mango, licorice root, white kidney bean, to name a few. The research involved more than 4,000 adults who were overweight. The second review included 67 randomized controlled trials that compared the effects of dietary supplements with placebos. Now, these weight loss products contain naturally occurring compounds that can be isolated from plants and animal products, including, for example, fibers, fats, proteins, and antioxidants. This study involved more than 5,000 adults. So we're talking about a combined total of more than 120 trials with approximately 10,000 people. What these large reviews highlighted was the very few high-quality studies that have been done in this area. Most of the studies were short duration, between 4 to 12 weeks long, and many of them also had a small sample size and were poorly designed, and some don't even report on the composition of the supplements being investigated. When you look at the results, there wasn't one supplement that could be recommended for weight loss. Some of the supplements gave 1 kilogram or 1.5 kilograms of weight loss at best. It's not what we consider clinically meaningful, meaning the weight loss is so small that it doesn't improve your health. In those supplements which showed promise and a little more weight loss, often the data came from poorly designed studies with substandard methodology and reporting. Therefore, the evidence from well-designed, randomized controlled trials does not support the use of herbal and dietary supplements for weight loss, and the claims you see companies marketing these supplements are either based on the results from suboptimal trials or no evidence at all. The other thing I want to address is safety. Even though there were no safety concerns for the diet supplements in these large reviews, you must appreciate that these are companies that actually do trials for their supplements. A lot of them don't, because clinical trials are expensive to conduct. So when it comes to safety, we must also consider those pills on the shelves that don't have any evidence, and therefore their safety is unknown. Worryingly, there have been safety concerns published for various weight loss supplements, and they're often the products that contain a concoction of different ingredients. For many of them, we do see a number of published case reports of serious health problems, mainly related to the liver and kidneys. This could include jaundice, brown urine, fatigue, abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. My advice? This is largely an unregulated market, and consequently, consumers are often marketed unproven claims. Anyone can formulate a supplement and then start selling it the next day without having to do the research to show it works and is safe. Take-home message. Over-the-counter dietary pills are best left on the shelves, as they're not going to provide weight loss that is clinically meaningful. You might get 1 kilo of weight loss at best. Not only are you wasting your money, you might be putting your health at risk too. Successfully losing weight long-term comes down to a couple of different things. Firstly, following evidence-based care from healthcare professionals that actually know what they're talking about. And 2, making small changes to your lifestyle to ensure you form habits that last a lifetime. And for more help on making these changes, make sure to check out the show notes. That's all for today. So please give us a like and share with others if you're enjoying the content, and make sure to subscribe to the podcast to stay updated. The information provided in this podcast is for educational purposes only. It does not substitute professional medical advice or consultations with healthcare professionals.